We are live. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to our show, our Monday show. Every Monday show. All right.
Yep, let me put things on mute.
That's what I have to do.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, folks. Does anyone know? Go and have a guess what time it is in India. If you've got any idea what time it is in India, please pop it in the comments. Does anyone know? Go and have a guess what time it is in
I hear an echo.
We just you have to mute the YouTube if you have a YouTube up. Just mute it, your YouTube.
There, muted it.
Hey, Lori, see your message. Have fun while you're out of town, hopefully, and then we'll catch you. You'll catch us on the replay. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, Delilah. Thank you, the Mel B, Travel and T, Delilah. Who else do we have? I saw some names up top. I feel like Auntie Mama. She was one of our first ones in.
Hey, Auntie Mama.
So Joy, thank you for joining us.
We got
Hi, Kate.
And Travel with Josiana.
Hello. Hi, Mel.
Perfect.
Fairy Godmother Kate's here. Coach is in the house. Coach Miri. And Miss Nikki as well. Right, I see that Mel had a guess. She said it's 10:18. So what time is it in India, Himani?
It's 3:49 a.m.
49.
And I'm here for the BTS love and the community love and our lovely YouTube family.
Oh, I can't do it with my fingers. You'll have to do it for me, Harjarene.
Let me get to your screen. Oh, I wouldn't make it over to your screen.
Hi, Vanessa.
I received it.
Hi, Louis. Hi.
We got Chicken the Woods. Chicken the Woods is here.
And Vanessa Grace.
And my savior, L. Lewis.
Yes,
Okay,
Lewis.
so what are we doing then? How are we starting off?
Well, I think we're starting off with, I know everyone saw we were inspired by Joe this morning because we wanted to talk, in celebration, because there's a couple of holidays around this time of year. There's, of course, those of you who celebrated and ventured out and dressed up for Halloween. And then today is, and as much as in my brain, I want to say this in the proper Spanish, I'm not going to embarrass myself. It's also Day of the Dead today. If I am correct, if I'm not correct, please correct me in the chat. So there's all sorts of celebrations. And so Joe was very inspired by us being super villains as we tackle, as we tackle the things that at one point may have frightened us, and so how do we go from villains to victors? I know that was, and Joe, what did you have on your short? I know I had villains to victors. What did you have on yours?
Oh, well, Miss Mary was doing all the talking on my
yes,
short.
This is true. Miss Mary.
Mary stole the show.
Yes.
Honestly, how she hasn't got her own channel, I do not know.
Well, I think you got an idea there. And then for those of you all who did see poor Miss Mary suffering, completely suffering for the lack of treats from mother.
Please type in #cat in Joe's chat and let's give her some treats.
#chat or cat. #cat. Yeah.
So do you guys want to introduce your characters and why did you choose that character maybe?
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, a good one. Okay,
for Joe.
For me, it was obvious. I was going to be Bane because of Colin the CPAP machine. I always feel like Bane.
And our love for Tom Hardy. Let's be real here.
For sure.
Let's just say it. Say the thing out loud. So perfect. Yeah. And then Poison Ivy, actually Joe picked Poison Ivy for me, and I think it's absolutely perfect because of the garden,
Perfect.
greens, nature, all the things.
Nature.
And I'm telling you, Joe, like, because I feel like they did Uma Thurman wrong in their version. They did her wrong in the outfit they put Miss Uma Thurman in. So I may send her that picture and be like, next time you're asked to do Poison Ivy, let's get some Kill Bill vibes in your Poison Ivy outfit.
That's it. She's scary,
right? And then and then Hermione. How about you? Why'd you pick Harley
Yes,
Quinn?
I picked up Harley Quinn because I'm a little crazy like her, but and
I love it.
And fun, and and the curly hair vibe and everything. I absolutely love. She's very savage, so I love her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the
Archie.
Catwoman. So
Catwoman, Joe picked Catwoman. Yep.
So talk about Catwoman, and then I'm gonna tell everyone what the challenge we had with Miss Catwoman after why Catwoman for Harjarene.
Oh, it was so easy. Has anyone seen Harjarene in a Ayuga commercial that she did?
Oh yes,
Catwoman.
Yeah. And so as we were trying to create our thumbnail, both Hermione and I kept getting, we couldn't get past I was using Google AI. Which one were you using?
I was using ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, and we couldn't get past the guidelines. And then this morning I was playing around with some things, and it was because of Harjarene as Catwoman. It couldn't, it could not get past Harjarene.
Keep getting stuck. It said it violates our policy, content policy. We can't go ahead and change someone's appearance and all of that. I said, she's my friend. I'm trying to create an avatar.
Well, I think she was just looking too beautiful, and Google AI literally said, it's like, I cannot do this. It violates
Did Harjarene?
Thank y'all so much.
Harjarene, how did you feel about being Catwoman?
Oh, I loved it. Catwoman was one of my favorite shows with Halle Berry in there.
Yeah. I think you're giving Eartha Kitt a run for her money, and you're in Harjarene as Catwoman.
She was, wasn't she?
Yep, she was Catwoman.
She was.
She is. I would say, yeah. I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer did great too.
Yes.
So that's perfect. Right. So that's our theme. And Joe, I know because this was a theme I know you were really inspired by. But it is to focus on kind of that. And let's open it up tonight. We want to hear all things in the chat. Yes, the four of us are connected because of our focus on health, weight loss, specifically with the use of the GLP, different ways we eat. It's impacted, but we want to hear from everyone, whether it's a career change, whether it's starting a YouTube channel. What led, as we throw out the questions and we answer, we want to hear from those of you in the chat as well with some of these questions. But how did you push past fears? Again, it can be in any subject, but we'll talk. Harjarene's our moderator, so we'll toss it over to Miss Harjarene. Yeah, there's still I know I turned off my YouTube. That's not to say it's still not coming from me, but I not turned it off, but it's on mute. My YouTube's on mute.
I'm going to turn my volume down some, because last time I turned my volume down, it was helpful. So what about now?
Hello.
Yeah, it is still there. Like somebody.
Still there.
I've got every YouTube channel up, but all of them are on mute.
Okay.
Then I think
I don't have a YouTube channel up.
Okay.
I can't hear anything.
Okay.
Now
Hopefully it's not too distracting.
now it's done. Now it's done. Like, it's not there anymore.
Okay,
We
perfect.
can go ahead
Shut
and
down
start.
everything.
Is it, before we start the questions then, could we ask everyone in the chat if they were going to be either a superhero or a supervillain,
Oh yeah.
or have a superpower, what would your choice be?
Yeah.
And
You
why?
can pick DC or Marvel. We don't,
Yes.
DC or Marvel. You can branch out, or any other obscure comic.
Anyone.
Maybe anime, if you're into anime. Anything.
yeah.
And
whatever.
why?
Like maybe your own digital avatar. You can discuss
I
and
love
tell
that.
us in the comments. Yeah.
But why? Why have you chosen that one?
Yep. We would love to know that.
There we go.
Kate, I love it. Kate was ready. Kate was like, she
And
had already
Grace-
typed it. She was waiting for Joe to
Grace-
answer the question.
I love Grace. answer. Grace is saying I'd be ready to try it.
I am chicken. Oh, Chicken Explorers is here. So, oh, Chicken Explorers. So Chicken Explorers, y'all. He's here in the chat. This is a person who understands live. I think Chicken Explorers, you were live for like 2 or 3 times over the weekend. You had some really awesome lives going on. So if you want to learn how to do live and keep people aware, check them out. So Chicken Explorers, I call myself the procrastinator. You're not procrastinating out there. You're getting a lot of. You may have some kryptonite to your ability to procrastinate. Beautiful Storm and Shay.
Nice.
I'm saying it on record. I love Halle Berry, but I need a different Storm. So Shay, go audition for Storm.
Shay would be brilliant as Storm.
Yes. Okay.
I love Delilah's.
Jasper. God bless Jasper.
Calming.
Oh, I love him. Oh, I love me some Jasper.
We got some great.
Anyone else?
I think they're all driving and whatnot. Shall we start with the questions then, Faye?
Yeah, let's start with the questions. Then we can ask it again. We can ask people. Yep. We can, commercial break.
Okay. Well, I know you all know, but for those who may just be coming in, my name is Harjarene Annette, and their handle is @TheBossWay.
And I am. Oh, hey! It's me, Joe from Joe's Sleep and Slim Down Journey, and I'm really excited to be here. Forgetfully.
That's awesome. You're brilliant. You're brilliant. And I'm Calamity Jane here from, Calamity Jane's channel in Chicken Coop. So there you go.
Namaste from India. This is your Indian sister Himani from Stealth Health India. And we are here to talk about what scared us into action.
Oh, and before we start, so Losing It Grace did have a good one. Did y'all at 4:26? I think we can all sort of maybe appreciate this one. 4:26 Central. Losing It Grace had a good answer to this.
Okay. Oh yes, she already had that one already went up. She'd be Red to True Tide.
Red to True Tide. Okay.
Red to True Tide. Yes, I did. Yeah.
I love it. Sorry about that.
Yeah. All right. Questions. Let's get in here. Okay. What was your wake up moment?
For me, my wake up moment was my wake up moment. It was the fact that I was told the sleep apnea was a real thing, and it was severe sleep apnea, and I needed Colin. My heart was stopping for 4 beats a minute. And you know this already, folks. You know this already. I thought I was on my deathbed. I was going up to bed every night thinking I would not make it in the morning. So the day that I got my CPAP machine, I also got my Mounjaro, and the rest is history.
All right.
How about you, Clam?
So I'll keep it to just this because I think I go to sleep a lot and then have all sorts of wake up moments during my 4 decades on the planet. So the most recent wake up moment was, the circumstances in my world really compelled me to be, basically I want to get to a position where I'm able to manage type 1 diabetes with less insulin. I'm going to rely on insulin. It's the thing that gets me until something else comes out there. But I want to be able to take less of it as I get older. And so this most recent, so that, sustainable on the vegetables I eat, all the things, right? I want to become more sustainable as a human. And in order to do that, I want to be able to have to require less insulin. So that was my wake up moment this past year.
Okay.
How about you, Himani?
Yeah. So basically in June, I had gone to a gynac for basically a basic fertility checkup, and to, if I want to plan a family, what all tests are required. And till then I had no idea of, what my diagnosis is. I did not know that I have PCOS because my cycles and everything were normal, and there were no other signs that, very on per se, like prima facie, which could tell me that I have this insulin resistance and all of these. I knew I was deficient in vitamin D, like D3, but apart from that, I did not have any ailment. I was not on any medication, and so to her telling me that yeah, you need to get your weight down, but also that you have PCOS and that is not letting you lose the weight, and that is going to affect you because if I plan to have a child in the pregnancy, you're more prone to get gestational diabetes, and I was already pre-diabetic. So all of these factors led me to consult an endo. She referred me to an endo, and then I went to him and explained my situation, that I was not aware because my cycles are normal. I don't have any other issues that generally PCOS women have, and this is what I'm like I was all like, I bared it all. I said, you need to help me. And since in India it just launched this year in April, it was approved, and it came down to the market in June, July. So he really warned me that it might be that I might not get the stock, or maybe it'll be very expensive. You had the vials here. So I was pretty skeptical, because if you start something and if you can't continue it even for a month or two, I didn't want to do that. I was exploring all other options, but thankfully we got the quick pens in August, and it somehow the flow was like that. But yes, that was my wake up call, that I need to get my insulin resistance under control, and also PCOS under control. Yeah.
Okay. Well, for me, they did tell me I had the sleep apnea, and that scared me, but not as much as having the CKD. Having this, being diagnosed with the CKD, scared me ridiculously, And I guess if we're honest with ourselves, we can say if we're overweight, it can cause all kind of problems,
Yep.
So that scared me even more into action.
We've been getting some great responses in the chat. Calam, do you want to go through those?
Yeah, I'll go through a few of them. Let's see. So let me make sure I hit the right. So we're saying greetings. And so one of the first ones, let's see, that's superpower. And the first one I see. So at 4:31, Amy loses it.
Yeah.
And she talks about the fear of falling alone at home, not being able to get up, and it would be days before someone figures out I'm on the floor, and that and a bit ability to shower properly, etc. And that, that is one I think probably some of us think about a lot. And then even without body habitus, I think that's something that is a concern. I know of someone who was at a training event and they slipped in a hotel shower. It's a real reality, right? And then Delilah, one moment I heard, Delilah, your blood work came back and you need to take this paperwork to your PCP and talk about this. I knew something was wrong. So yeah, definitely it's big. And then let me see, make sure I'm not missing Vanessa Grace. My wake up moment is when, and this is at 4:34, Harjarene. My wake up moment is when I wake up in the morning thinking, just in pain because I slept on my right arm the wrong way, but unfortunately it got worse and worse, right?
So Vanessa, what was it? Sleep on your right arm, because I have the same problem. It's like it goes numb.
So here's Alanda. Hi, Alanda.
Hi, Alanda. Nice to see you.
We got a few more. So I know we're waiting for Vanessa to tell us. She did say that it got to a point I couldn't use it for 3. Wow. Wow. That's significant. Yeah, I'd be curious as to what they said it might have been. And has that since resolved itself? Or are you still having that issue? And then Kate said, going from normal, and this is at 4:35, Kate says, going from normal to obese BMI within 6 months, 30-pound weight gain. Wow. Oh, and then the gaining was not slowing down. And hopefully y'all are okay. If I do this, I'm about to do a thing. If you want to hear more about Kate's story and what she's talking about there, check out Downsizing
For
Diva.
sure.
2 Saturdays ago?
We'll pop it in the video description.
Yeah, we'll make sure it's in the video description, but they did an amazing panel
Yeah.
on, and Kate was in that, the Mel B was on there, and then Downsizing Diva, also Dr. Bobby, saying they did an amazing panel on menopause, and it's one of many they have done. So go to the Downsizing Diva. We'll make sure to link it in our show notes and everything, but learn more about Kate's story, because many of you could be dealing with the same thing and need to know about that.
I want to give a huge shout out to Mel B. She's just said it in my chat that she's watching it from 4 different devices on all 4 of our channels. Thank you, Mel B. That's so sweet. That's so sweet.
Yeah, I need YouTube to award content supporters, and I need Mel B to be the first one to win that award. So I'll send an email. Not to say that email will go anywhere, but we need an award from the Mel B, even if we got to create it.
Yes, let's put that energy into the universe. Let's manifest it. YouTube, please.
Right.
reward the cheerleaders.
Perimenopause causing me my
shoulder froze up. You couldn't lift the arm anymore above my shoulder. Wow.
They did say I was in perimenopause. Even though
did they? Okay.
Yeah, they did tell me. They had that on my documentation on my.
That's impressive. They actually put it fully in there instead of ignoring it. So that's impressive. And then let's see. Oh, and then we have Yvette. She says, hi, Joe, of course, looking healthy and fly. Yes, you are. And make sure you go, Yvette, if you haven't, she had a short where she's all in leopard. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And
she's glowing. She's glowing.
She's glowing. You have to watch it. But Wake Up Moment was 3 medications, and this was a new for me. I felt unwell, gained 65, and felt stuck. That will do it. Those medications will do it.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Carnivore Muscle in the house. Hi.
Carnivore Muscle.
As a fellow carnivore, I'm saying hi. I was just thinking as well, was talking about the fact that when you go to sleep on your arms, you've got to think as well, it's just the sheer weight of us. Mm-hmm. I remember I used to really suffer bad with my left arm because I used to only be able to breathe better from my left side. And so I'd always be propped up on my left arm. And that was 25 stone on my left arm all night. Mm. So as you say, I think that's also a big part of it as well, isn't it?
Definitely could be.
And Delilah's on the BHRT.
Nice.
Wow.
And have full use of her arm. That's impressive.
That's wonderful, Delilah.
Yeah.
So hello,
Girl Power. For us? Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Did fear ever push you to make a change in your health or lifestyle? Did fear ever push you to make a change in your health or lifestyle?
I'm going to say yes. I'm also going to be very honest. I'm not afraid of death. I've never been afraid of death. I think life is wonderful. But I'm also expecting the afterlife to be brilliant. The thing that I was frightened of was Miss Mary, just not having anyone to be aware that she was in there alone with a stinky body that was beginning to rot. And I would have fear. That would be a genuine fear for me. The idea that I'd be in the house. Oh my God, that just reminded me of something. Years ago, I used to work with somebody, and he was from St. Lucia as well, and he was only in his mid-20s, and he was a supply staff member, so you'd see him every now and again, and we hadn't seen him for a while. And then we found out that he'd actually been dead for 3 weeks. He'd had a stroke.
Oh no!
And he was only in his mid-20s, and it was like, I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to, not for me, but for the people who are going to be finding me. And it was just, chills.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
I'm moving that on.
That's reality.
No, I appreciate you sharing that. Yeah. So did fear ever push me to make a health and lifestyle? I'll talk about it both here. So, and I'll go kind of backwards because it has set me up for my reality today. So 2011, 2012, that's when my, and I'm not going to get emotional, Joe, when my dad was first brought to the hospital for what we later determined was going to be end-stage renal failure. So that was 2011, somewhere in there. And so again, he was type 2 diabetic for several years. I'm type 1. So the way I used to always look at it was with type 1s, it's less of, oh, if I behave myself, I'll be in remission. It's more of, if I behave myself and manage this disease, then I'll ward off the major and minor complications that are associated with diabetes, right? Or type 1. So it was at that moment because I don't want to, whether it's, I think we talked about this in a chat the other day, whether it was still magnolias or waiting to see my dad. At the end of the day, I don't want to be on dialysis. Don't want to be on dialysis. Don't want to do it. So all roads in 2011, my mind shifted. All roads led to, how do I manage this disease? How do I take less insulin and set myself up for success? And so that impacted everything. That's when I started Weight Watchers. That's when I started doing Zumba. That's when I set up a plan to get out of consumer and student loan debt, which I successfully did that in 2016. And so, and then after 2016, began sort of setting up somewhere in there. I met my husband 2013, and then we got married in 2015. So that's when I basically set up my world to, we talked about boundaries in the last one. I went through that. I went through a full life cleanup in 2011 to 2013. Like, if you were not bringing value to my road to success, whatever it was, human, food, people, all the things, right? Human and people are the same. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, yeah, it was a cleansing moment and to get myself to a road to success. Now, life happens, right? And weight came back, but that's why we're always able to reset. So how about you, Himani?
Yeah, so it wasn't really my fear, but my husband's. So I did not know that insomnia and like not being able to sleep at night. I always thought I'm a night person, and I'm binging and I'm not sleeping, and I hardly sleep. Like for now, also after being on Manjaro, I've been sleeping 4-5 hours at a stretch, but uh, initially I used to sleep maybe 1 or 2 hours a night, and he was, and maybe sometimes I never used to sleep also, and especially if I had like coffee. I don't know how it affects other people, but for me, caffeine, I can stay up 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row. I could not sleep at all. Like I was wide awake at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., 2 a.m., and it was his fear which actually made us consult the doc in the first place, that you need help. That is the first step that he told me, that he feared that I will have some neuro damage because I'm not getting the sleep. I'm working in the day, I'm doing everything in the day, and I'm still not sleeping. Like all my energy is being used, but I'm not sleeping. So it was not really my fear, but because he was seeing me go through it. And sometimes you don't realize it because you are in your own rhythm and you're doing your own thing. So that actually made us actually take help and get out of that. Yeah, so it was not my fear but my husband's fear for me, and I'm so glad he brought it up, and we had these conversations, and I got the help, and like now I'm on this journey. I'm sleeping better. If not anything, I'm definitely sleeping better.
Good.
And how about you, Harjarene?
Yeah. I'm like Kate. I don't want anyone else to raise my kids. I don't want my husband to have to do that by himself because he's already of age, of a particular age, as Candy K says. So that right there alone was enough for me to make some changes. So as soon as I heard about the CKD, then they started talking about my heart. So then I had to go see a heart doctor. So that really, really made a wake up call for me. And so I had to change the way I eat. So that's when I started looking into OMAD, I didn't go right into it, but that's something that I started trying to do so that I'm not eating all day long,
Right.
that's just a fear for me to want to eat all that, because that's what I was doing before. I was eating all the time. Like, it was nothing saying, stop, girl, stop.
Right.
I get full, sit down for a minute, I can say, hey, my metabolism really fast. You know what I mean? It was too fast. So,
right.
But that's it for me. I don't want to have to leave the kids with my husband, and then, somebody else, because it's a lot of them. I don't want to have to put that on anyone else.
Right.
Bless you all. And they're important reasons, aren't they?
Right.
They're important reasons that spurred us into action. And
Right.
we're so lucky that we've got into action, and we're getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Really powerful testimonies there, folks. We've got some really good stuff in the chat from 429, I think it was, or 439. We've got Carnivore Muscle explaining about his sleep difficulties.
Yes.
I'm heavily muscle with low fat levels, and I have a lot of issues with sleeping. 6 pillows later, my care assistant is always getting told off for stacking them wrong.
No. And I know he's in a different chat, but I put below that, I did, you don't have to go to it. I put Shark Tank had I think it's only a prototype, so I don't know if it's out there, but there was a couple on there that had this, it was like this pillow that makes you sit perfect. It's not those wedge pillows, but it was a pillow that made you sort of like sit perfectly upright, but it, you kind of lean into it a bit. But I don't know, maybe it's an option out there, but, and then Grace has it, afraid of someone raising my kids. Yep. Similar. Gaining weight due to triggers. Yes. And so that was in response, Harjarene, when you were wondering what it was.
Yes.
Never found out. Was it tendon or rotator?
Yeah.
But it was basically get yourself together. Love it. And then Kate at 445. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's the one you resonated with. So yeah.
Could somebody read the one
that
we're showing? Just pick something for those that are listening in.
Do you want to get this one, Himani?
Yeah, I'll do that. Mm-hmm. So Kate says, I don't want my kids to lose their mom at the young adult age like I did with my mom and dad. They both passed at 62, way too young. I will do that's what's needed to be healthy and live as long as possible. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. Yeah, Kate, like there's something like recently I was in the last BTS, I was telling how, my father was discussing protein and everything. He's 62. And before all of this started, when I was not caring about my health, I was actually falling sick multiple times. There was a time where my husband was traveling and I asked my mom, I said, I'm not feeling too well and I've not been keeping well and I stay alone. I'm not liking the whole scenario. She just said one thing to me. She said, we are at an age, like she was referring to herself, that we are at an age that we might need your help. And you yourself cannot take care of yourself. And how will you take care of me when I need you? Right. And it's high time you get your shit together. And it's high time you, woman up. And I have raised you better than that. Your father's raised you better than that. Like, stop whining and stop, build up your immunity, build up yourself from within. You've seen me, at 60, she is working the whole day and she's hardly had any hospital visits, thank God. And she says that, you've seen me work on my health since day one, and my father also. And what is it's holding me back. And she just said that thing, and I was like, yes, of course, like if they need help, I can't do it because I'm not out of my own bed and I'm not helping myself. How will I help them? So yeah, that really, I understand, like parents and anybody who, like, especially like grandparents, how will you take care of them like when they need you?
Right. Then we have purple bellflower, beautiful bellflower. Fear certainly pushed me. The pandemic was the catalyst to my change. Lost so many that I knew personally, and those I did not. And I was at the most unhealthy at the height of it in 2020 with 4 core morbidities, and that was, again, that was a significant moment. And as far as those with comorbidity, especially diabetes, heart conditions, if you're dealing with any autoimmune issues, and those who dealt with the shortage of medication because they were trying different medications. Many people that had comorbidities kind of, were impacted by that when, we were trying to try stuff out. But it was so important. I know, till this day, I will always be in awe of my, my spouse, because I think maybe a month into that pandemic and we were still all at home, started getting on the treadmill every day and doing weightlifting. And what did I do? I watched him. I encouraged him. But I was always really impressed that he was able to take advantage of that reality.
Yeah. Okay. What's one thing you wish you had known before making that change?
For me, I think what I wish I'd known was, of course, the importance of the community. And I'm very, very thankful that Richard had said to me, Richard was my friend's husband who told me to go and try Mount Jara because he was getting much better impact with his comorbidities. And he said, go and find, check some people out on Instagram, watch TikTok. Well, I don't do Instagram or TikTok, or I didn't do Instagram. But then I've started finding you all, and I'm so pleased that I found you all on YouTube the same time that actually went live. So that I wish I'd known sooner, and I could have been so much more aware. And all of these scare stories that my family would say, all the problems that might be happening, like, well, my heart stops beating 4 times for 4 beats. I'm not worried about acute pancreatitis.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my thought. Now I am going to have to just go off a second because Miss Mary has just done a dirty protest. So
Okay.
So I'm off camera for a moment.
Understood. Okay. Before I go, and I know, and just Harjarene real quick, I know Himani wants you to repeat the question, but before I do mine, we are, royalty has entered. Not only do we have King Darium, but the Earl of Campbell has also entered the room. So they made the entrance together. So, and Grant, the earrings are in the mail. I'm going to text you after our meeting, so you have the code. So wish I had known. I would say, and I'm going to speak to the first time around when I lost the weight with Weight Watchers back in 2012, 2013. What I wish I knew then that I know now, and because of the community, right, is the importance of maintenance. I think, we talk about the goal being weight loss, and what I have since discovered, and I'm hearing throughout when the community speaks, the goal is just one leg of this race, right? This goal weight, this idea, that's just one leg of this. Maintenance is is really the final stretch. And so I wish I had known more about maintenance and understood what that really meant and the balancing act of it, right? So how about you, Harjarene?
What I wish I knew about YouTube, how supportive it would be coming to YouTube, because the first time that I lost the weight, I was on Facebook and I felt alone, like I was doing it by myself. I felt like all the things of me saying, Janina, I felt like the things of me saying, give me one moment.
You're good. Yep. I'm going to kind of look at some of the chat while we're waiting for everyone. And so let's see. So the Mel B talks about, I wish I had known how important, I wish I had known how important consistency, not motivation, but consistent it is. And I love that we talk about it. And I know Simply Taisha, I love her morning, kind of her morning reminders. And I feel like, once, if not twice a month, Simply Taisha will just talk about the importance of consistency and remind us of that consistency. So it's always really, really, really nice to get that in. And I know Dee Dee talks about it as well. And so there's a lot in our community that really makes sure to highlight the importance of consistency. So thank you for adding that, the Mel B. And then Purple Belt, I should have taken Ozempic back in 2018 when my doctor offered it. I just had needle, and I'm about 455 Harjarene, if we want to show them on the screen.
Okay.
I should have taken Ozempic back in 2018 when my doc offered it. I just had needle fatigue after being on insulin every day for about 6 months, coming from someone who's never, and understand purple bellflower. And you and I lived the same life. If I were to go back in time to August 2020, I don't know why I can't say 2020, like Barbara Walters, 2020, right? August of 2020. Sorry.
2020.
Sorry. But in August of 2022, when my doctor handed me a box of Trulicity, I wasn't going to do it. It's like, I don't need gastroparesis. I'm not taking it. But so, yeah, you and me, we live that same life of like, time travel, right? But I wouldn't have met this lovely community had I taken it. I would have taken it and never connected with anybody. Yep. And then, Darian's correcting me. King Darian, his edict. Maintenance is not the final stretch. You have a whole lot of life to live. Maintenance is a part of sort of, new normal. It's really the start. And I think that's ultimately what I mean by sort of maintenance is life. But yeah, maintenance is the rest of our life. So that's a better way to say it. So thank you, that King Darian. That's why he's king. Yeah. That's why he wears the crown. So yeah. So Yvette, which I had started in 2023 when I was approved for Ozempic, now I'm not approved, and it's fine as I'm getting it done. And Yvette, and you're sharing in the chat and getting us and letting us know how we do this, right? Because there may be times that we're without a medication. We've got to know how to stick through it, right? So let's see, who else do we have? Let me make sure. And low carb queen, I agree, Joe, to support is great. I've learned a lot and I'm not alone, right? And that's half the battle, right? I purposely said I didn't want to be much about. Yes, 2020. I did that in 2020 doing any of my trainings I would always say it like that, and people seem to get a kick out of it. So
can I also make one other point about the community?
Yes,
I think the cross-pollination of the communities. So for example, I'm on Mounjaro, but I've always been a low-carb keto kind of girl. Turns out I'm a hyper-carnivore. And so the carnivore and the keto and the low-carb community are wonderful. Right. And just started to get more aware of the fibromyalgia community, and then all the different communities that we have that we follow and watch on our channels, and we see them here tonight as well. The community is so giving and so forgiving as well. I think it's a wonderful thing.
I would agree with you, Joe, and I'm glad you said that, because this just to highlight, one of the four of us got together. Let's say this weekend. The days are running together. The days I don't look at, because of circumstances, I don't look at calendars anymore. So I have zero, other than Joe and Harjarene and Himani telling me it's Monday at 4:15 Central. I have no idea what time and what day it is. Anyway, but community is key. We got together to do our schedule for, I think we went all the way through December of next year, of the topics we want to talk about. And we're going to be highlighting this thing about community, because at the end of the day, all these communities have made, whether it's keto, carnivore, whether it's the gardening people, whether it's the chicken people out there are stunners in the chicken world. Like, all I'm saying is there are some stunners and some health bros in the chicken community. I hope to join their ranks soon, right? So beautiful people, right? But it's all this road, and we even say chicken is the gateway drug to everything else in the homesteading community. You get chickens, you get sourdough bread, you get a garden, you get all the things come. You start doing solar panels, you start making solar panels out of water from your generator, all the things, right? It's a gateway drug, chickens. But anyway, but it's all for this healthy, sustainable life. Whether it's weight loss, whether Crooked Peach is someone who's turned her life around because of the carnivore lifestyle, right? Mm-hmm. And she's a gardener. She has her chickens and all the things. And so this community, the four of us met each other in a certain way, we have learned from all. And let's not forget the best community who knows how to live life. The cruising and traveling people. These people know how to live.
Yes.
If you've not seen the dance party, Travel with JC Ann is on. Subscribe to Travel with JC Ann. Go and check out the dance party that's on the replay from that. This is wonderful.
So it is this community, and regardless of the path in which, or the tool in which you're using, it's this idea of health and wellness today. What does that look like for me in the present, and what does that mean in the future, right? So, and then Harjarene, did you get to jump?
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying when I was on Facebook first time I started my weight loss journey. I felt like I was getting on people's nerves because it felt like I was the only one out there doing it. People asked, and I would tell them, "Oh yeah, I'm on Manjaro." I was happy to share that information, but it seemed like it made people run away from my post. Me saying that, like they would say, "Oh, she couldn't do it by herself." Judgmental. You know what I mean? So had I known that this beautiful community was out there, I probably would have had a more successful story the first time. You know what I mean? But once again, might not have met all of you. So it is what it is.
What was your leap? What got you over here? Was it something random, or did someone tell you?
I went on. No, nobody told me. I went on to YouTube and searching. I went searching. Okay. For it, and I told you, person I came across was Twan's. She was on a live, and I watched that live on it, and the rest is history.
Right. Yeah. What you got for us up next?
Okay, let's see here.
I've just heard from Himani.
Okay.
She's got problems with her laptop. She's getting them sorted. She'll be 5 minutes, she said. Continue, okay. She said.
Okay. And I need another another thing we've got to make sure knows. So about 503 from the Mel B.
Hold on. Comments 503. Okay, got it.
Yep. So while Darium may be king, the Mel B is the what is she is
high priestess.
I'll say the high priestess, and the she is the something about the decider. She is the decision maker. If I had my X-Men brain on, I would he's the eye that stays and watch the watcher. She's the watcher. So, and she is the one, yes, who crowned. And then also entering the room, we have Downsizing Diva. Thank you for joining us. We did, and I know DD, sometimes you get on to us about this, but because there are people who may be impacted, we're going to be sending people over to the menopause panel that you did a few weeks ago, because that discussion came up, and I know it's going to serve a lot of people. So we sent them over to go watch your panel. And then Paul Amadeus Lane is in the room. So perfect. Thank you for joining us, Paul.
Lovely to see you, Paul.
And
Paul's been doing a lot on Instagram. So if you've not got Paul on Instagram, please make sure you check him out. He's doing a fantastic series about just living life with quadriplegia. Is that the right phrase I'm using, Paul? You'll correct me.
Yeah, Mel B is chief operating officer. I'm a Marvel fan, so she's gonna be the Watcher, which is the same thing as the chief operating officer. we're superheroes and villains today, so conquering our fears, and so we're going with the Watcher, and then the Earl of Campbell. So perfect. What you got for us next, Harjarene?
All right, let's see here.
And Paul says you said it right.
Thank you, Paul.
Did fear help you stay consistent, or did you need something else to keep going?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Fear kept me consistent. Long before I got my diagnosis of the severe sleep apnea, and we're still waiting for the primary aldosterone diagnosis. Long before that, a rheumatology consultant saw me and she says, well, we don't know what's causing it, but you have the symptoms of fibromyalgia. And as well, I'd also got the hypertension. And even back in 2014, when I first found out I got IBS, I do all of the things to self-care because as a woman living on my own, paying for my mortgage, it's an absolute nightmare when I'm not able to work. As you say, just all the worries on your shoulders because there is no safety net. So the idea then that if my health was going to be impacted and there was something I could do, you darn tootin' I was doing it. And that's why, although, as I say, came out in today's video, I did find 3 slices of, do you guys get Terry's chocolate orange over in the US?
I don't know if that brand, but I know I've seen a chocolate orange, if that makes sense. I just don't know if it's that brand.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The one where it's shaped like an orange and then you crack it and then it breaks into segments.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I found 3 segments in the back of the cupboard earlier on, and I just started eating it. And I'm like, I'm a carnivore. I stayed away from all of this Halloween candy, and yet here I am eating old chocolate, but it was delicious. And but other than that, yes, I'm 100% committed.
Yeah, my daughter made me try a piece.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yes, pretty
good.
good.
It's good. Yeah. And then Josie Allen, we'll see you later. She's having to step out and everything.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
So sorry, there was some Microsoft issue. I was locked out from my computer. It asked for some recovery key, and it happened to both my laptops.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
I don't
computers
know what
like to do
happened.
things in the middle of craziness.
sorry.
And then
Please
we're just doing the question on did fear help you keep consistent? I would say throughout, I mean, there's always been that hanging, there's always that shadow, right, of what this, especially as a type 1 diabetic and for any chronic diseases that people have, there's always that shadow lingering. How it moves you to do things, I think it's different at different seasons, because there are times I prioritize, whether it was work, whether it was family. I used to call myself a very lucky type 1 diabetic because A1C, if you were to look at my A1C over the years, especially in my 20s, you're like, how did she get here without X, Y, and Z happening, right? But I would say it's hard to say this because it's hard to say what I'm about to say here in a second, because I get weird about putting this much value in a thing, right? But I'll just say it and y'all can decide how you feel about it. I will say, since being on Zepbound and witnessing the stability and the control it has had of my type 1, it's like that fear is not present.
Oh, that's good.
Now, the fear of what my insurance company is going to choose to do is interesting. That's separate, but there's routes around that, right? We have 1,000 people on this. In our heads, we have 1,000 people on this chat. There are many people on this call that have figured out how to continue to take this medication. So that's not an impossible task, right? Is it one I've got to figure out if I have to make that decision? Sure, but it's not impossible. But yeah, it's witnessing the significant change it's made that's probably is what motivates my consistency more than fear. How about you, Himani? Does fear help you keep consistent?
Absolutely. Not just fear. I think, like I said last time, also community. Uh, it keeps me accountable, and I actually strive. So I'm like that. I'm very competitive when it comes to like anything, and I have a competition with myself that I need to surpass my own limitations and my own health standards. I'm not. I have a big body, right? I am not like somebody who's a 5 feet person or a 5'5". Everybody is different, so I should not be comparing. And it's not a fear, but I'm pretty consistent because I know if I don't put in the work, this is not a magic wand. We have to put in the work.
Yeah.
So I have seen people not losing weight because they're not even making any single change in their lifestyle. Why would I want to do that? I'm spending so much money. The fear is maybe a price because I'm paying out of pocket. There is no insurance available in India which covers. There is nothing that no coverage whatsoever. And since this medicine is so expensive, and it's obviously very difficult to pay out of pocket, and we are managing like making ends meet. So yeah, the fear is definitely that I don't want to waste even a single penny
Right.
of me or my husband or my parents, whoever is contributing to this journey, because it's not just the medicine. You're focusing on nutrition, so
Mhm.
obviously the intake of protein and all of these things, your grocery haul and everything. I like the money part of it definitely scares me because and that keeps me consistent that okay, I should not be wasting that.
Right.
I've bought in so much, I'm investing so much money into it. I should definitely stay consistent and show the results for myself, get the results for myself, even if it's a point one on the scale, or if it's a non-scale win, like fitting into old clothes or eating better when you're going out at the restaurant or the movies. I
Right.
absolutely love every little change about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
And since you put it that way, Hermione, I'm going to start putting that in my head too. You are so
Yeah.
right. You are
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
correct.
You're spending so much money, might as well, get your shit together. Like whatever things that you feel you lack of, like why not work on it?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Well, when they told me that I had CKD, I said, the soda. I mean, it's more than just soda, though, that can cause
It is.
that problem.
It is.
But
It is.
the
For
one
sure.
that I knew about was soda. I was like, threw it out the window and kept on going, running.
For
running
sure.
from it.
For sure.
But I haven't had the desire again to drink it, and I don't plan on drinking it. Not even a sip. I don't even want to sip
And
of
that's
it.
a win. That's a win.
Yeah.
And that is keeping you consistent, right? When
Yeah.
you have such a scare, such a health scare, obviously it will keep you consistent.
Well, last week I started eating salads, y'all. Remember I didn't want to eat
Oh,
greens? I started eating salads last week,
Get
and
that
then
fiber in, girl.
yesterday I had
Betty,
green beans. I had green beans. My husband said, "Oh, you ate my green beans," because he's been used to eating the whole can by himself. But I had green beans. Yesterday I said, "Oh my God, I ate green beans yesterday."
I
So
tell
that
you what, I was really hoping you were going to stay with as carnivores.
yeah,
As,
well, the green beans was tasting good, and the salad was tasting good too. So I'm just glad I'm starting to eat some greens because we need I need all the fiber I can get. So that was good. And the question was, look, I asked the question and forgot the question.
It's okay.
How is fear keeping you consistent?
It's keeping me consistent, but I could do better. I could do better.
Yeah.
now, I maybe playing devil's advocate a little bit, or maybe not. Maybe it's just out and out truth. Years ago, my granddad's wife, she used to smoke 40 cigarettes a day, and then she had a heart attack, and she stopped smoking like that. Meanwhile, somebody I knew and loved found they had lung cancer and continued to smoke because she said she loved smoking. And I think, is this something about Manjaro that helps us to make the decision to stop the thing that we know is causing us problems? Because I know there's many people out there that have got, they're losing limbs with their diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
And yet still they say they can't get off the diet sodas or the full fat Coke. And I know someone who's riddled with psoriatic arthritis, and yet they cannot keep away from a Lilt or a Fanta. So that's a UK drink, sorry, a fizzy drink. And is it, I don't know, is it something, I don't know if put it out to you guys, put it out to people in the comments. Are you finding it easier to move away from the foods that you know are destroying your body now that you're on a Manjaro?
I would say. Do one of y'all want to go first with this one, or
I'll go first? Yep, because like I used to. I mean, I don't drink all the time, but I would drink. I don't even want any alcohol, so that's one thing. cravings, not all cravings, come by. Like I love chocolate and I can eat chocolate every single day, but I don't have those cravings for chocolate. So yes, as far as my mentality goes, is I take medication, but I think it's also helping me with that, the depression and everything.
Right.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Go on, Jen. What was you going to say?
Well, I think I think there is, and I want to say RMZ even there. I want to say a few because it was about a month ago, and he may have had it in one of his news, but we'll make sure to link the article. But in some of the tests they are doing, they are, they have found the protein in our brain, which triggers. It kind of goes beyond the GLP science, right? Because they found the protein that's actually in the brain that sort of triggers this desire for cravings and our appetite, basically all the things the GLP-1 are doing. They found the protein in the brain that controls that. So there is a relationship because that protein is tied to things, emotional eating, so and all the things related to that, right? So I don't want to get too far into it because it's been a month since I've read the article and I haven't gone back to it since, but we'll make sure to link it. But I just know there's things that I was eating before July 16th and I'm not eating it now. Yeah. And it's not that I'm making an active, like, it's not that I'm saying I don't like, Paul and I've had this conversation with Paul. Hummus. I love hummus. It was in the drawer July 15th, because I had gone to the store that week, because I used to always buy 3 containers of the lemon hummus. I'd get my husband the red pepper and the chipotle one. I'd get 3 lemons. There are times that I would eat that hummus without any vegetables. I'd just get a spoon and eat the hummus. That would be breakfast. Eat it. I loved hummus. July 16th happened. I started on my jar. That hummus was in the fridge 3 days later, all 3 containers. So I gave them to my husband. And I said the next week, okay, well, I'll just buy 1. That hummus stayed in the fridge for 3 days, and I gave that one to my husband. I don't buy it anymore. For what the things that I would snack on and crave, even if they were healthy choices, the things that I would snack on and crave are not things in my life today. I don't know why. And it's not that they were bad, they were whatever, but and Mel kind of she throw this into these pathways, process, pleasure, motivate. Something about whatever triggered me to eat that is not of interest right now. So I don't know what's happening behind this. This is the wizard behind the curtain, right? What about you, Himani?
Yeah, I'm also amazed. Like, I was not a big snacker, but I had this thing where I could not waste food even if I was full. Like, be it my husband's plate or be it my plate, even if I was full, and especially like ramen, pizza, and all those. And I did not know I had PCOS, so I was supposed to limit my gluten and dairy. I love cheese. I love bread. I could not do without bread. And now I have, like, in my 4 months of being on Manjaro, I've hardly had any bread. I do have cheese, but I'm choosing, like, I did not know there are low fat cheeses and there are healthier options. Like, you can go for feta rather than the processed cheese and all of those things. Obviously, I never read labels also, but it definitely is keeping me away from, okay, it's there in the plate. I can have it later or maybe not. I can just leave it. I don't have to have it. Like, that is something. I'm just walking past tables and not eating. I'm traveling. I'm outside, like, I'm obviously all the meals and everything I'm having outside. But the choices I'm making at breakfast, buffet breakfast, where we get good desserts and everything at the hotel, I'm having boiled eggs and I've got my own plant protein powder and I'm making my own
Nice.
profi. I love profi, you all know. So I'm carrying my supplement stack and all of those things. And my husband is just so amazed, like, you're so disciplined. I said, I can't survive without these things because I know for a fact that I don't have the craving. Why should I indulge? Like, just because I have to eat something, might as well eat something nice. Something that is beneficial, like something that is healthy to me, for me, rather than getting in empty calories. There were so many empty calories that I was taking in.
Right.
Sodas, I was a lot into. Initially, it was Coca-Cola. Then this year, I moved to Coke Zero and the zero sugar drinks. Now they bloat me. Like, I had one, I was telling you the other day, And now I'm like, even if it's there in the house, I'm not going to touch it. It's not helping me in any way. There is no craving also, rather. And I love burgers and all of these things like breads and cheese, right? So I'm not having any of it. And somehow, I don't know how this is so mute. Like my husband says, I feel like eating a pizza. I said, go ahead, have one. I don't feel like having anything like that.
Right.
Like it's really like I'm amused at how the brain, is rewired.
It's amazing. And then Harjarene, if you go to 518, I want to, there's some people have dropped some pretty cool things in the chat that we can read over. And while we're doing that, like I really want to, maybe if we ever do like the spouses live or whatever, I really want my husband on the show because
Same.
like it's mind boggling. I call him a normie. He has normal GLPs, our active one.
Yeah.
And last week I go, okay, I need to go to the grocery store. What do we need? What do you want to get? And he says it over and over. He's like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. It's like food is just fuel. Like there's nothing that it's not this. I'm craving this. I'm craving that. He's like, food is fuel. I don't think about it. Like, and
what a wonderful world.
It's the craziest. I mean, it's the craziest thing. And then like, he would drink, he drinks his coffee, he doesn't eat anything until about like 12. And then he does coffee about 10 o'clock. And then and then his body processes the coffee like it's supposed to. And then, he gets his water in like he's supposed to. He eats like a small meal at 12. Like he does not eat, he doesn't eat bread. Like that's the other thing about it. It's like I used to look at him strange, like, how do you not eat bread? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, who did I marry? And he tends to pick those, he'll do meatless Mondays and because he just wants veggies, right? And he's also a hunter, and then he's running around doing meatless Mondays. But anyway, God bless him. And then he does 12 o'clock, and then he eats about 6:30. And then right before bed, he might do a fruit and yogurt because of a medicine he takes. It makes him eat. But otherwise, something has happened in his brain that the GLP-1s are now doing for us. This idea, like I'm trying to explain food noise to him. It's a foreign concept to him. He's like, I just don't think about food. It's fuel. It's
I'm seeing the difference. Like we go to restaurants now. Between the two of us, if we were ordering 4 dishes maybe before, now I'm like, order one for yourself, order one for me. And I know for a fact that I will not be able to finish because we don't have appetite and there is no craving. But I know, like I ordered a steak, he ordered a pizza, like I said. And I'm happy with my having half of the portion also. And I'm not craving that pizza at all. Like it's just sitting on the table and I'm looking at it. And if that was the case before, I would have devoured the whole thing. It looked so nice. And bread, I love bread, like you said, Jen. I love bread. I still do. But somehow it doesn't taste the same. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not fancying it. I'm not liking it. I don't know.
My stomach will even make that decision sometimes. Like if I see bread or if bread is like, it's not when I'm at a restaurant, but even here, like sandwiches. Like I ate a sandwich last week because I haven't eaten a sandwich since I tried to eat a sandwich like July 18th and I couldn't do it because of the bread. And then I think I posted it and I was so excited that I was able to eat a sandwich after X number of months. Right. But there will be moments where I see what's in front of me. And it's like, body's not going to handle that. But if I do this and this, I'll be able to finish it. Like there's this conscious moment of like, what can my body actually handle in this moment? And then I just turn away from the thing it doesn't want to handle. But let's do some of these. And Himani, when you come up, if you want to do a few of them. But Amy, and this is the one. I'm not putting my tin hat on, but this one right here. How these drugs are not approved everywhere for this reason alone. I have my theories, not going to go down that road, but my sister-in-law drinks alcohol after 20 years of being an alcoholic. I mean, why is this not more available?
Yeah.
The amount of lives that it can save for that reason alone, right?
Exactly.
And families.
100%.
Yeah, because it is definitely rewiring your brain into thinking, like pausing that thing that makes you have cravings, right? So be it alcohol, be it anything else, like I think this should be studied more. There should be more clinical trials and they should actually go into like PCOS. I know it has good effects because there are now articles being written by doctors and related field, people from related fields, but it is not approved for PCOS, but it is helping with the insulin resistance, which is exactly like directly related to PCOS. So there needs to be more studies around it. I'm sure they must be doing it and we are not really aware, and they'll just drop it on us like one fine day that, oh, we are coming up, we are approving it for this also, and it's approved for maybe alcohol and like all of those things also. Like I'm always hopeful, because if we have advanced so much that we are at this stage, we will definitely get there someday.
Do you want to continue reading these comments, Himani?
Yeah. So low carb queen, hi. My craving for chocolate has not left, unfortunately. However, because I don't eat as much, the taste and texture is changing. Ah, yes, for sure. Like I understand where you're coming from. There are certain things like I still do that avocado toast because I love bread, but then yes, I've swapped the bread for the high protein one and like not non-gluten version, gluten free version of it. So I understand like the texture and everything, it's not the same, but yeah, I understand that.
That's how I was with tuna the other day. I put it on bread and I could not eat it. I couldn't eat the bread. I had took the tuna off the bread and just ate the tuna by itself.
Yeah. I had at that baby shower, I tried a little bit garlic flatbread. Wasn't for me at all. I've not eaten bread for years, and I thought, oh, I'll try it now because manjari is helping me with inflammation. It was not good.
So Delilah says, for me, it is not the homie that keeps me from those choices. I started the changes on my own. 2 years, I worked on my BED with therapy prior to starting the homie. It does make it easier. Oh, definitely. I absolutely agree. And 100%. It does make it, definitely makes it a little bit easier on our already strenuous, weight and life with other ailments that we have. And BED is so not well handled by the doctors. Like I feel there should be more talk around it. I think I mentioned it to Joe when I first went to the doctor, the gynac who was so illiterate. She just told me, "Oh, you have PCOS. Stop eating." I said, "What? Like, stop eating? Like that is your like medical advice to me? Like, I'm having issues. I'm sure that there are other things that you can advise." I almost had like a laugh, but then it really affects your mental health, because if a doctor who's supposed to help you is saying all of these things, and these things get so unnoticed, like insomnia and BED and all of these things, people don't really talk about, especially here in India. There is still no talk around it. People don't know what BED is like.
What is
I'm sure.
BED?
Binge eating disorder.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And
Wow.
I found out about, okay, there's a term for it. This is what is happening. I can't stop myself from eating chips or anything. And I'm thinking about the next thing and the next thing. This is not normal. This is definitely not something I'm doing out of habit. Maybe there are triggers. Stress is a trigger. There might be some emotional triggers. I don't know, but there should be more talk around it.
And my medical record said I'm an extreme binge eater. That extreme on there.
Right. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And as you say, it needs to be talked about more. Maybe that's an episode we've got coming up.
Yep.
And then I think there might have been a few more under that.
Yes, I know I think Mel and Kate mentioned these studies.
If you can bring them up, I can read them.
I'm trying to find them. Let's see.
Yeah.
It was earlier, about the studies on the connection to the brain and emotional and the reward center of the brain.
Yep.
And then about 5:20. Yeah, perfect. Oh, we did it. We called it. Just saw someone in the community speak on being afraid of not having coverage because of alcoholism in addition to weight loss. It's it's kind of like, I think we talked about this. Hey, Kyle, I see you in here. Hey, Kindy K. It's one of those things, we talked about this before. When you're seeing your doctor, when you're seeing your care team, when you're seeing whomever you can get in front of, if there's a drug rep one day when you're at the hospital or you're at the clinic and you happen to see a drug rep, I'm not saying tackle them, but share your testimony.
Yeah.
This information, go to the websites and communicate some of the, whatever it is you're willing to share with them, but just more information has to get out, more information certainly has to get out. Okay. And yeah, not even well, half the time we're gonna have a thing on PCOS very soon.
For sure. We'll have a different, like a proper episode on it, maybe 2. I don't
In
know.
fact, it's next week. It's next week.
Next week.
Yeah, because it's just so badly handled
Mhm.
through everything. 1 in 5 women have it, and I have seen my friends deal with it, and it's just been very awful. Like there are horror stories related to it that I will like definitely talk about. We'll talk about it in the next step, like next week
Right.
episode. It's just another topic in a very detailed one. Let's not get into it, but yes, it's very badly handled. Yeah.
Then low carb cream in the U.S. If you're obese, everything is related to being overweight. And I don't know if it's Darium is still in here, but he can kind of, he can share that message he always shares regarding obesity. And then let's see, they know what it is. The food is made to make us addicted to it. Sugar. It is, there's an element of sugar in it, and there's an element to it that, and I think that's, the reality is with the advent of these drugs, the fact that they can tie it to hormonal health, things not functioning in the why cannot not remember pancreas, things not functioning in the pancreas correctly, things not functioning, the brain connection, the fact that we talk about these GLP-1s as, and yes, what we're taking are synthetic antigens and peptides and all this stuff, but it's a natural, who knew before? Well, some of y'all may have. Raise your hand if you are one of these people. Who knew before, let's go with 2018, that a GLP was a naturally occurring hormone in your body? Who knew it? Right. So the fact that we can tie something to impacting all these disabilities and diseases to something that ought to be naturally, now it doesn't last as long. And that's a significant key. The GLP-1 that occurs in our bodies does not last as long as the one we're taking. Mm-hmm. But it's something that naturally occurs. So you have to ask yourself a question. If something is not functioning that's supposed to naturally occur in my body, why is it not functioning correctly? And it could be autoimmune. There could be a neurological component. There could be an injury to a system, and there could be something caused by obesity. So the fact there's so many things that obesity may be what you see the result is, but is it the cause? So, and I think we're learning that more and more and more.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
And then
Candy K says, okay, Darium, I'm here. Generally, overeating doesn't cause obesity. Obesity causes overeating. Yes.
Yeah. And I think, go ahead. Sorry, Himani.
Yeah, a lot of factors. Like when we are near our cycle, like I tend to eat more, and then stress for me, and also like a reward system. I don't know, like if I'm not feeling like if I'm feeling a bit moody, my husband offers me food. He thinks that food is not the only thing that is going to give me joy. My parents, like everybody around me, my friends, they're like, oh, we'll bring you some food, we'll bring you a cheesecake. I don't even have a sweet tooth, but then that is the reward system that we've built because they know I'm a foodie, right? So maybe food will make me happy and it'll take away all the pain that I'm going through, or it'll just ease out the situation. And that is how we've been like before. And
it did used to help me, Imani. Food would help everything for me. It used to be
like culture, let's feed you pizza because you're not feeling well. Oh, maybe a packet of ramen. Comfort food, right? Food is comfort. That is what we thought, and now it's for food for fuel. That is what, like Jen said. I like what Randy said. Food for fuel.
It's insane to me. He's like, we can. I joke with him. I really want to just do a live one day, and like everybody can just watch.
Yeah, like if 4 months ago you asked me like, what are your eating timings and what's your usual diet like, I wouldn't have an answer. I would have rather said it. Depends on the day. If I'm going out for a movie, I might eat at 1 a.m. also, and depends. Like I might have 5,000 calories also. I didn't count calories. So yeah, it is food for fuel for sure.
Yeah.
Darian, there are so many causes
for obesity. Oh, sorry, Hermione, go ahead.
No, there are so many causes for obesity that have nothing to do with overconsumption of food. Example, steroids. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then let's see, Delilah had one at 4:34.
Yeah, if you could just bring it up.
5:34.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
I'm just looking at the time, folks. We've got 25 minutes left.
Yep.
Thank you.
Harji, you can maybe go ahead with the next question.
Yeah, we can do the next. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
Joe.
The next question is, how do you celebrate progress when the starting point was fear?
Again, I'm not sure my starting point was fear. I think I needed to get into action. So I suppose if it was fear of Miss Mary being left alone, Miss Mary now wishes she was left alone. Miss Mary wishes she was left alone.
Oh, she's looking at
Watching
you.
Low Carb Queen, turning on Low Carb Queen, turning on YouTube Live.
Joe, she's looking at us too. She's looking at us right now. Like, what she say?
Miss Mary, have some treats. Hashtag cat.
Yes. Y'all hashtag cat. Y'all get Miss Mary some snacks.
No more snacks. She had a dirty
Like,
program.
did you just?
Too many
She's
snacks.
like,
I
did you
heard
just
my
call
name.
me? Yeah, she was like, did you just call my name? You called for me. Do you want to give me some treats?
Miss Mary wishes she was left alone.
Right.
But my progress
no,
is
bless
evident.
her.
My progress is so evident. Every morning I was laughing with George from Good Enough for You yesterday because he has they do a regular carnival Sunday school every Sunday at 6 p.m. UK time. And he was saying that his life was so bad and now he wakes up to Cat Stevens' Morning Has Broken.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that interestingly, I wake up to George Benson's Breezing because every day is a day for breezing and starting your day. You know, that day where you're just waking up and it's just joyful. And it's like, that I think it's so easy to track my progress. Don't necessarily think it came from fear. I think it came from, there was something that needed to be done.
Right. Yeah. And I think any fear that I may carry around, specifically type 1 and getting around, the celebrations come and sort of being able to do the things I want to do. Right. It's in the silliest thing. So the way, we have a truck in our garage that's parked with like zero room for, June and July, prior July 16th, trying to get to this truck. It was, I had to turn sideways and then I had to open the door and then I had to like somehow figure out how to get in. And today I can walk straight, get into the truck, jump in. Right. So it's celebrations in those moments. And then it's just sort of those, I have a doctor's appointment November 11th. So there's going to be celebration around that. Right. It's just those moments or realizing that's like, how many days has it been since I've changed my, insulin? So it's those moments. And then thinking about future trips and travel that I want to do. Right.
Yes.
It's just, so I think Joe said, it's in the living. It's in the living is how we celebrate. Right.
Yeah.
How about you, Himani?
Yeah. So I have both reward systems set for me, like the scale wins and the non-scale ones. So I told my husband every 10 kilos I lose, you have to buy me something. And that's what he's like, okay, how far? So for the first 10 kilos, I got him to buy me a bag. I wanted for a long time, like a purse. And for the next, so now I'm almost at the 20 kilo mark. And then he's like, what do you want? Like, tell me in advance so that I can plan. And I said, okay, give me like, maybe we can go for a trip, like a short trip nearby because it's been a while since we've gone. So yeah, I'm keeping it fun while I'm at it. And it also, motivates me to, go there. And the non-scales are just so amazing for my own mental health. I think the fitting into movie theater seats better, the airplane seats better, car seats better. All of those things has definitely, been like I've celebrated in my own head. Like I'm at peace with myself. I'm fitting better. This dress I'm wearing right now, I wore last in March, and it was just too tight for me. And now I'm like, okay, I'm 5 inches down in my waist. Obviously, it will fit me better, and it is so nicely fitting today. And my husband's like, "Oh, you're looking nice." I'm like, "I know, I know, I know,
I know.
I know." So yeah, so the scale with the non-scale, I'm keeping it fun while I'm at it, because that's how, when you're two people in the house, you have to do something to
Right.
do, like, keep it like lively. Yeah.
Yep.
I think I just do it all in my head as well. I don't it used to be, go to foods, you want to celebrate, but that's not my case now. But I do save it for when I talk to my therapist every 2 weeks. So I kind of celebrate with her, because I tell
Yeah.
her, all the things, and she,
Yeah.
she claps and says she's so happy for me, because I've been with her over a year, so we've kind of got to know one another. So yeah.
And going back to Joe's single community, we celebrate here, whether it's
Yes,
in
we do.
someone
Yes,
else's
we do.
live, and we get to share non-scale and scale victories. We share because we're on it, right? And I love this thing about it is important to it's because the scaled victories is what will sustain us and keep us motivated, right? But the scale victory goes back to what you were saying. This medicine's expensive. Let's celebrate the scale victories when they happen, right?
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
so it's like, or when the sleep apnea changes or blood sugar. I mean, yes, we got to get something. My pharmacist, every time I go to my pharmacist, it says, how much this is. And, and I said, yes, I know. And then I catch myself, and I do it every time. I catch myself, but you don't understand. The amount of money I'm saving with food, the amount of money I'm saving with not having to order insulin as much, it all equals out. Like I have not put it on the spreadsheet, but it all equals out, right? So yeah, you got to celebrate those things and be excited about it.
And
so.
I need to start. I need to start doing it, but I'm also trying to stop spending so much money too. So that right there, I didn't stop letting the Amazon packages pile up on the porch.
Okay. Sponsorship. Let those people sponsor you.
And one more thing I would like to say, I don't know if it's yours also. I have this guilty pleasure where people who do, like, we are from this community, we know all, like, that we are on this medication. But like my relatives and people who don't know that I'm healing undercover, like stealth, right? So people in my life, apart from my parents and family, they don't know that I'm on this med, right? But they are seeing the changes because they last saw me probably in March, April, and now they're seeing my pictures and my me like on video calls and all of that. My relatives have started asking my mom that is she doing something? She started looking thinner. I said, just tell them I'm getting fitter rather than saying thinner, and And then somebody's commenting, oh, she always had a pretty face, but she was all like, she just needed to lose some weight. I said, just tell them everybody needs to do something to keep themselves fit, right? And this is
There
what
you
something
go.
I am
There
doing.
you go.
Yeah, it's not about thin and fat. I've seen some amazing big body people do like
Right.
headstands and handstands and all of that. It's crazy what you can do with your body, right?
Have
So
you watched
this
Coach
is
Me
my
Reen?
yes,
Coach
I
Me Reen
know.
can get into the splits.
Yes.
Wow.
So all of exactly my point. So this is my guilty pleasure that coming from people who are now started noticing that they don't know I'm on this journey, but then they are also seeing the difference. That's my guilty pleasure, and that's like I celebrate that as well. Okay, I see you seeing me. I see you noticing me.
I love that.
Yeah.
I tell you what, interestingly, you was mentioning about the dresses and the
Yeah.
clothing, Himani. Harjarene and I were marveling at our Temu purchases that
Yeah.
we're both wearing today. And I know Linda's on from Linda's Journey. She loves a Temu dress. Wouldn't it be
Yeah.
wonderful if Temu sponsored us? Just putting
Wouldn't
it
it?
out there. Let's see if you can
Timu, do you
manifest.
hear us, Timu?
Universe. Timu.
I'd
BTS
love to
wants
do a
you to
Temu haul.
sponsor.
I would,
Timu.
yeah. As much as I would love it, we lose packages here. I'll have to do a short one day about
Oh
no.
my
They
God.
show up
When
in the ends of
you
fields
order,
like
we'll
this.
come stand by your gate
Yeah.
and make sure they put it.
Oh, no, they put it on top of someone's mailbox, and then like 5 minutes later, it was gone.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
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 yeah,
Oh my
but
God.
people will post on our community page like it's in the middle of a cow pasture somewhere. They're like, they literally there's thousands of posts on our page of like, does anyone know where this is? And all you see is a tree and leaves.
Wow.
It's like no one
Wow.
knows where that is. It's ridiculous.
They should
It's
lose
like
their job.
because they can't put it in the mailbox. They can't. Why they can't take it to the door? I won't go there. But yeah, they can't put it in the
They're
mailbox.
scared. They have to go all the way down the road. come down y'all road with all the woods and stuff, all the trees.
This is true. Yeah.
Yeah, did you say it was 5,000 steps? Was it?
No,
Calamity?
just
Yeah, but
500.
don't
I
be
mean,
afraid.
it's 500 steps to
Hey,
get to
put
my
a sign out there.
mailbox.
Don't be afraid. We won't eat you. We get you.
You're right. You're right.
Candy K says
Oh,
Timu and
Dara.
Fashion Eva Curve. Candy K says Timu and Fashion Eva Curve. Amen. Yeah,
Ah, there you go.
I like the fact you all like Timu. I think I need to come
I
to
do
the
like Timu.
US.
Timu and Shein
Yeah.
and Chick Me,
Yeah.
they're perfect right now for losing the weight and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Right.
of course, we're going to thrift. We're going to send everything that we no longer fit
Yeah.
into. We're going to be thrifting those, so it's the clothes will continue to be loved.
Yes.
I'm telling you that we need to do like these auction people do and somehow create a live that's just sort of like
Oh,
giving our clothes away.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who wants this? Yeah.
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 Oh, my
That's what
jumpsuits.
Miss Toy did. I
Yep,
got this. Who wants this?
Right.
Brilliant idea.
So hey, some of y'all fashionistas out there, if y'all want to really, if you haven't thought of how to do a live for, and there's some people in my head who I'm thinking of who's thinking about what they can do for their lives. You can create a fashion exchange or clothing exchange for your lives.
For sure.
Love the idea of that. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got another question coming in.
All right.
I think this will probably be our wrap up one, right?
Okay. Well, what advice would you give someone who's scared but stuck?
Scared but stuck in any particular form. Maybe if someone like who's got sleep apnea, for example. If you're scared but stuck, if you've got sleep apnea, if you've been diagnosed and you're still struggling, go and speak to the sleep clinic, the sleep doctors. Somebody mentioned the other day on my sleep apnea video that they didn't realize that there was all these different masks. So you might have tried the one hard mask and thought this is not for me, and then continue to struggle. Don't struggle. If you're on medication that makes your ankles bloat out or your skin really irritated, speak to your docs about that, because there are alternatives. So if anyone's scared but stuck, and it's a health journey in particular, speak to a doctor. And if you don't get good results from that doctor, if it's the doctor who tells Himani to stop eating, go and find another doctor.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yep, correct. Yeah, and I'll keep mine short. So the one I hear that I resonate with the most is, scared of needles. And I'm going to tell whether you're taking you're using the vials, whether you're using the injector, or in the outside of the U.S. they have the quick pen. Do it at the age of 14. Before I left that hospital, I had to practice on an orange. So I would say, let's go get an orange. Let's go don't waste your medicine, but let's go get an orange, get some syringes and practice, right? Or let someone else do it. Let someone else give you your first couple of shots till you feel comfortable. It's quick, it's easy, it's not that bad. I know we can't compare anyone, and I've shared before. I do 3 different injections a week, and the Manjaro one is the painless, the least pain-ridden one of them all. Yeah. Minimal pain. That is compared to the other 2. So just practice on an orange is what I would say. So
okay. So for me, I think I really believe in this, that let your faith be bigger than your fear.
Yep, love it.
You have to first get in your head that you can do anything you want. Like, you are your own limitation. So please get over that feeling. Second is to ask for help if you're not able to do it alone. Like, there are things that we can't do alone. Like, I know it for a fact, because like I'm the eldest daughter. I was telling them I have trouble asking for help, beat anybody, and I have to get out of my head and ask for help and trust the other person to take care of that part of it. So yeah, be it a doctor. Like, I was not satisfied with the first doctor, I went to the second. Take third, fourth, fifth opinion. Who's stopping you from changing your doctor or getting opinions or consulting anybody that you feel has some authority over that particular subject? Why not do that? Like, we have so many options these days. The tech is so advanced. We can have telehealth, consultations. There are so many things that are available to us, so many resources. If use the internet wisely. Like, this is the benefit of it. Like, we can actually research make ourselves more, equipped with knowledge, and it will definitely help. And thirdly, just that, like I said, like just be, let your faith be bigger than your fear. I would just say that. And yes, if you're doing it, do it scared. What's the worst that can happen? Like,
Right.
what have you got to lose? You're already not in a position to, have
Right.
anything. Nothing is working for you. Might as well do this, like, one last try, we say, right? Like, one last try,
Right.
Before
and
I
then we
before
try
I answer
again.
that question, y'all, I do have a question. Uh, why is it that when different people give you your shot, some do it so smooth you don't feel a thing, and then you got some that
Well, I would question the person on the other end and their intentions. It all comes out. It's like cooking.
Yeah.
You cook with love. It tastes like love when you. So I
but the
would
needle's
question the
going in the
intentions of
same
the
way,
person.
right? The needle's going in the same way. They just sticking jabbing you, right?
So what?
I don't know. I don't know.
No,
I'm going
it
too
happened.
hard.
No, it happened with me the other day. I was, I think, giving blood. So I have very deep veins. Like, you have to really dig in. So, but experts, they do it in a second. And there are certain people, like, who are not like very, uh, I don't know, like something. They keep on digging both arms, all my hand, everywhere, and I'm like, it will happen. Just stay at one spot. Don't poke me everywhere. They're like, we'll take it from your feet. I said, no, you're not touching my feet. Take it from my hand like other people do. They're like, your veins are too deep. Today also, I was giving some, I think my vitals, because I was feeling my BP is a little elevated. So I was, giving my vitals, and she's like, "Oh, this is not gonna work. This band is not." I said, "It will work. You just have to push it a little harder. Like, don't give up so easily."
Oh, my
I
word.
know for a fact that you're not taking my vitals properly. I correct them. I don't mind, being the savage one there. I tell them that, please do it properly.
Yeah, you have to tell them. I
Yeah.
will say, yeah, if you're just getting, if you're in, my nurses in the room can confirm or deny, the best advice I was ever given if they're drawing blood, stuff like that, is be hydrated before you go. So
Oh,
especially,
okay.
so
Okay.
stay, like almost over, I won't overhydrate, but if, hopefully you're getting you have to do a urine sample that day too, but be hydrated before you go, as best as you can. And then if you're getting your things like your vaccines and stuff like that, be hydrated, overhydrated. Like when I was getting my like flu shots or COVID shots, things like that, I would start overhydrating like 48 hours ahead of time. And then especially if you're getting stuff in your arm, if it's going to be intramuscular, move your arms up and down afterwards. Do that for like, so I'd be, they would make you wait 10 or 15 minutes. I'm sitting there like doing my arm exercises. It just gets stuff moving along.
That's good advice. Like,
And then you have the people who are good and they're the distractors. So the people that start talking to you and then it's like, did you do it? Yeah.
Right.
Those are the good ones.
Those are the good ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, traveling T is saying something.
Did you respond to that question?
Probably
Oh yeah.
Not. Probably not.
Go on, what?
So traveling T, yeah. If someone is scared, I recommend getting a friend or family to go to appointments with them. If I can offer support, encouragement, and ask questions not previously addressed. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Find your people, find your support system, find people you can rely on. You might not agree with 10 things they say, but if they can, back you up when you need them on this, especially this context, please ask for help. Yeah. Delilah says, yes, as your resident California certified hydration and into the vein really cause your veins to be nice and juicy.
Well, I will do that.
I'll also do that. Like when I
hold on, is it phlebotomists? They're the ones who take blood.
Yeah.
So Delilah is scared of needles, but she's a certified phlebotomist.
Yep.
You can be scared of something and do it. It's the receipt.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm scared of blood. That's why I'm not a nurse.
Oh.
And don't have babies.
See, and that's why I didn't do. That's one of the other reasons I didn't do accounting, because not to say I'm scared of numbers, but I don't read like y'all would have either a lot of money in your bank account or zero money in your bank account if I was an accountant. Because I'm numbered dyslexic.
Yeah.
That's it, noted. I'm not letting you do my accounts.
Correct.
Okay, so
That's
we've got
cool.
5 more minutes before we need to be going, because of course we've got Simply Taisha that comes on next. So anybody else who's doing a live next?
Anchor moments will be the top of the next hour, I believe, for Monday. So we
Okay,
have
Amy
Simply
says fast
Taisha
food
at the top of this hour, and then in 2 hours, I believe we have anchor moments. Those are the ones I know of, and if anybody knows of anybody else, feel free to put it in the chat.
Yes, please, as you
Yes.
say. And if you are a content creator and you're on any one of the channels, then do the it's hashtag sleep for my channel, hashtag chickens for Calams. Harjarene, what's your hashtag?
At the Boss Way.
And Himani,
It's hashtag wellness.
hashtag wellness.
Wellness, yeah. Hashtag wellness.
So if you, whichever chat you're in, do any of those hashtags. Let's share your links.
Oh, my hashtag, yeah, hashtag the Boss Way. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And we will put your channels in the video description when we upload the subtitles and etc.
And
Also,
Crooked
I
Peach
think we
came
should.
in. And Crooked Peach, we gave you a shout out earlier and just talking about just how in connecting
Fabulous
with
you are.
how
Yeah.
fabulous you are, number one, but how in connecting with
Thank you, Amy.
communities, we've been able to meet people such as you, Crooked Peach, who, Chicken Connection, Garden Connection, Carnivore Connection, and it's just been you're probably the highlight of someone who is a true crossover into all of our worlds, and as a result of the things you learned about yourself by what it is you take into your body and stuff like that. So if you want
I
to,
want to say something like for
yes,
all
please.
of you watching, if any one of you wants to talk about or us to talk about something in particular, bring up like a topic that you feel that we should definitely have this panel talk about. And if you want to be also part of that discussion, please feel free to reach out to any of us. We can figure out a way to, if it makes sense to include that topic, and if it is actually something that people need to talk about, we'll definitely take it up in one of our sessions. We do it almost every week. So yeah, like you can get in touch with Joe or Harjarene or Jane or me. You can just leave it in the chat. Also, we can probably reach out to you, because there are so many things that we might miss out on between the four of us, and there are so many people are going through so much, and maybe we can bring it up and have a discussion around it.
Okay, Master Chairperson, if you like to bring it to a close, Harjarene.
Wait, can I do one last plug? Support your local food pantries.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Just, I'm leaving it at that. Go and support your local food pantries.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And thank you all for coming out today to support the behind the scenes. We love you so much.
Yes. Love you guys. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Bye.
Night, folks.
Okay, Amy will be live on Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, just if anybody's missed. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.